I'm not much of a dancer myself. As a matter of fact, I can't dance. But today I'm gonna take you by the hand and lead you up, up, up because we are going to dance on a volcano. The band is Genesis, the album is A Trick of the Tail, and this is Johan Explains, one of the most iconic and well-known prog intros of all times. Hi, my name is Johan Stensland, and today we're gonna look into the intro of Dance on a Volcano. But before we do that, I just wanted to give props to the man, Rick Beato. Rick Beato is the man because he knows like everything about everything in music. So if you haven't checked out his channel, maybe you should. It's very educating and entertaining. And Rick has actually made a video on this very song, Dance on a Volcano, but he spends just a short time on the intro, and the intro is what I'm gonna focus on today. So we're gonna dissect the intro and look at all the odd time signatures and all that, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So let's do it. So let's start by listening to this famous and iconic intro. I just couldn't help myself, so I made a little video and we can watch it and listen to it, and we can talk about it later. So when I was about 20 plus years old, I was a long time ago, we were putting this band together because we're going to play at a wedding. And I was putting together this Genesis medley. And for those of you who know me a little bit, you know that I grew up on Seconds Out by Genesis. So it was like ingrained in my DNA. I just like digested everything. And we had a brilliant guitarist, a really talented guy. But he didn't grow up on Genesis. He didn't have that kind of musical genre in his DNA. So when we were rehearsing, and of course we're going to start with this intro and Dance on a Volcano, and he was like, how do you count this? And I am deeply ashamed of my behavior and my reply to him, because I just told him, dude, just play it, just feel it. How hard can it be? That is a bit embarrassing. But I was speaking out of ignorance. The truth is, I didn't know. I had no clue how to count it. I just played it because it was like ingrained in me, because I've heard this so many times. So I just knew it. But I had no idea how to count it. So I just told him, just play it, and not so very good. But today we are going to count it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to count it. And no wonder it was hard for even this brilliant guitarist to do this, because I'm going to give you some numbers, okay? 6/4, 11/16, 4/4, 11/16, 7/4, 7/8, 11/16, 7/4. That's all the time signatures in a row, and that's how they change. So let's take a closer look. So I want to show you how this graphically. We are in Reaper, of course, and here we have some recordings, some tracks. We have a double track guitar here, and some drums and some other stuff here. But what I wanted to show you is how all these time signatures look. We start by 6/4, and that is just the... So we have 6 of those. And then we have the famous 11/16 bar, which is that one. Then we go to 4/4. Then we have 11/16 again. We go to 7/4, 7/8, 11/16, and then 7/4, which stays a bit after that. Before we dive in closer, I need to talk you through the famous 11/16 bar. So let's do that. Now, this famous 11/16 bar is, at a glance, not that hard. It is 11/16, and how do you count that? Well, it's this part. And you count it just 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1. 1E and that's 4, 2E and that's 4 more, and 1, 2, 3, then you have 3 more, so that's 11. So you count it, if you think of like that, then you have 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, bang. So it's 11/16. And up to that point, it's not that hard, but what I think is interesting is that even if you count it like that, they don't play it like that. Phil is, what I heard from interviews, is the guy who came up with all this stuff. He was like really into the odd times, and he came up with this. And the last 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, pang. What complicates things is that Phil on the drums, he plays triplets on top of those 3, which is why the drums sound interesting. So he goes ba ba bo bo bagadogo dosh, bagadogo. Those are triplets. Bagadogo 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 dosh. And this creates this weird syncopated feeling. And it's interesting if you look at the space between the beats, bam, 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 bakatakang, which are triplets. And then you have like a microsecond longer pause before the hit, because the triplets stop, and then you have to go 16 notes. So you have bakadogo gong, which make it like something like that. You have to like wait for that 1, and it's hard to feel it. But if you just count it like 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3 pang, then it's easy. But it sounds more complicated when Phil does that. And then there's it's very hard to hear exactly what Steve Hackett plays. If you do it like this, then you play it like you count it. 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 3, 1. Like that. But I don't think that is what he plays. To me, it sounds like he also does these triplets. So what I hear is more like something like that. It's very hard to hear. But I think he plays the triplets too. So I'll show you exactly what I mean with this little interesting micro pause that happens because of the triplets. So here we are in Reaper in my MIDI editor. So what you see here is my drum performance. So you see it's not perfect, but it's hopefully good enough. What you see here is my snare, bang, bang, and then toms, bong, bong, 2 toms. So we have 1E and a 2E, and then we have the 3 last extra beats. And here starts the triplets. So we have pa 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 boom, ping 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 ping, bagada gong kosh. And look at the spacing. Look here. Triplet, 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 triplet. And we have a little micro space here, which needs to happen for us to land on a straight 16 note again. So you can't play like pagadagagush. That's wrong. You need to make a little pause there. Pagadagang, pause, gush. Which is pretty cool to me. So let's listen to that. Like that. So the next thing that happens is that we go from that Lydian D, which is like we go to D7 minor, like this. So we have a sus4 and like that. And this is actually a straight 4/4, and this is the only straight 4/4 in this intro. What happens next is, to me, the most interesting part of this intro. Up until now, we have the D Lydian and the D7 minor, and it sounds a bit staccato to me. So after this 4/4 bar, here, we break that with the 11/16 again. And here the mood changes totally to me. We go from that staccato feeling to a rocking motion like this. So the mood is suddenly it's like rocking back and forth. And we have a bar and a half of that. 7/4 plus 7/8. And we just break out of that. It sounds very aggressive to me, like it's just this rocking motion, and then we just it comes a bit unexpected. So we have that 11/16 bar again here, and then we go back to this rocking 7/4 thing, and we stay in that for quite a bit. So let's listen to that from the 4/4 bar. And now the rocking. And back. And back to 7/4. As a kid growing up, I had another favorite part of this intro. We were crazy about those classic prog elements, like the mellotron and the Taurus bass pedals. And what I think got me and many proggers was that low C note on the Taurus. We just loved that punch and that impact that note had. I think it's pretty cool because they don't play the low C the first time the C happens. So you have the C, the C sharp, and then back to C in the bass. They go the higher C, and then to the lower C sharp, and then we have the low C, the Taurus. And that note is like, yeah, I just love that. Let's listen to that. Now, in the end, they resolve all that crazy tension and odd times and all that with a straight B-flat major. But what I think is beautiful is that they lead into that. Both Hackett and Banks play the sus4 note. So we're going to go to... That is not really in tune, but that's not the point. The sus4. But we still have the C in the bass there. So we go a little like that. And I think that's beautiful. So there we have it, the intro to Dance on a Volcano. I hope you found this video a little educational, a little entertaining perhaps, and that you like my content. If you do, if you like my content, please hit that like and subscribe and all those buttons below. It really means a lot to me. And thank you so much for watching.